My bad. Not my bad. You know what? It's not my bad. It's somebody else's bad. TikTok. My bad. Not my bad. You know what? It's not my bad. It's somebody else's bad. TikTok. You victim. You you be. Hey, this out. I don't know. This out. I don't know. I was just saying, little Chuck and Fee over here. My little stuff go back in the background, so I thought I would point it out. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, TikTok 01, and good morning, Monk, and Spreading Sunshine, and Kenny, and Blonde Cheryl, and Kelly, and Kika, and whoever happens to be showing up. You all get a welcome. If I don't mention your name, please don't take it personally. Isn't that one of those, the 4 agreements? Don't take things personally, or at least strive to not take things personally. There we go. Farm Girl, oh, nice to see you. Yeah, I had a bit of an issue last night with TikTok. I will just share with you. My FYP, it was almost like somebody else's ones. Yeah, that's the second agreement. What's the first one? Does anybody remember what the first one is? I should probably have them written down here. Or better yet, maybe I'll just read the book again. But I do remember, maybe because it hits me so personally, always do your best. Yes. Now, here's a funny thing, Farm Girl. I actually have an issue because to me, always and best are very superlative. And so to me, that can be intimidating. Always do my best. To me, how about strive to do better? Yeah, like, so it gives you a little bit of wiggle room. But thank you. Be impeccable with your word. I remember that one. Yep. And again, think of these things, impeccable. I guess if you were trying to be impeccable, you would really be like, whoa, if every word I says, see, already I screwed it up. If every word I said had to be impeccable, I may not speak at all. So I will use the words that are comfortable to me. But thank you, Farm Girl. I wicked appreciate it. And as you can tell, I'm from New England because I said I wicked appreciate it. Those are the words that I use. I don't know if they're impeccable to some people, but anyhow, good morning and good happy Friday morning. There we go. Leslie is back from in Connecticut, speaking of New England, from San Francisco, adjusting to reentry after a great trip. Wonderful. And you know what, Farm Girl? I can't remember the 4th agreement too. If anybody else has read that book called, I believe it's called The Four Agreements. And if you know what the 4th one is. There we go. Okay, so you're originally from Dot, but you live in Tennessee. Well, that must be a unique combo of accents. So I'm originally from Needham, but I lived in Delaware, where my husband's from, and now we live for the past 20 plus years outside of Philly. So not only could say, if somebody passes me a hoagie and a water ice, I can say, thanks a wicked lot. Yeah, total culture shock. But you know what? We are flexible and we adjust. There we go. The window on human nature comes through these good connections. Ooh, I love that, AC Wild. I figure, and I mean this as a compliment. I hope you take it as one. I feel like I just read that on a fortune cookie. So very cool. Very cool. Yay. Speaking again of Dorchester, can you tell it's been a while since I actually lived in Mass? Dorchester. Connecticut. Leslie, I was talking about Connecticut, your home state, to friends of mine who are from New England and no longer live there as well. And we were raving about hot buttered lobster rolls and New Haven style pizza. Also, I do love the fact that there's so much coastline. But enough about me and where I'm from and the words I'm using. How about you? There we go. Here's a fun thing, Farm Girl. You say, I enjoy listening to you and you've helped me a lot. I endeavor to help you a wicked lot. Okay. Oh my God, you helped me a wicked lot with that. I wicked thank you. Yeah. So good. I'm glad what I'm doing is helping declutter. So in case we've only got a handful of people right here, and as people roll in, which is fine. Judy, good morning. Destination Decluttered, decluttering life coach Beth at your service. Um, Decluttering your home is a great place to remind yourself and to play around with the tools of changing your life. Now, that's why I say decluttering life coach. If it was just decluttering home, we'd be only in this little narrow silo, as it were, with little Fisher Price people in it, of just your home and nothing else. I endeavor for you to learn from me is really some stuff that, yes, helps you seriously declutter your home. And when you have clutter in your home, even after you've decluttered it, to not freak out your nervous system and your backseat driver and your head and all that, but to just be like, I've got this. I can handle this, no big deal. You do not activate your fight, flight, freeze, or fawn response. Okay? So yes, we can totally hang out, and if all we ever do is help you declutter your home, that's not really all you ever do. Because you're learning the skills of how to recognize what you want, speak up for it, actively do things to increase the likelihood that you will get it, and also, on the flip side, notice what you don't want and use those same tools to decrease the likelihood that what you don't want will happen again. So it really is a set of life skills, right? And I say, right, but I'm like, yeah, it is. I'm not asking for buy-in. I am telling you, this way of doing stuff is fun, gets it done, and you can use these skills in other areas of your life if you choose to do so. If you only want to keep them on in your house, that's fine. But if you want to practice these skills outside of your house, they thrive out in the real world as well. Okay? So anyhow, that's where we are. It's a Friday. I will admit, I have not caught up. I did not write down the good things that happened yesterday, though I had a really good day yesterday. I haven't written it down in my travel guide. But before I get too far away from that, I will be able to look at what I call my roadmap, the daily roadmap of what I did, and I will add stuff to it. Like, for example, the good things that happened and made happen. Like this morning, it was fun. I was out on my walk. I inadvertently ran into two of our good friends who were driving past, and they slowed down and said hi. Yesterday, something I did not expect, I did not schedule this, but we had the first corn of the season, or as Mrs. Tonetta would say, corn. First corn of the season, corn, and we had a delicious tomato at dinner. It was wicked hot, wicked humid out on the patio, but it wasn't raining. So I'm like, hey, I will take that. We had fun with our friends last night, all sorts of things. So I, show up to you as a human coach, but not a perfect one. Yeah, not a perfect one. Perfect is unattainable. And even if you get there for a smidge, it's going to change in a hot minute. Like, the clothing's, like the laundry's all done. And then tonight you take off your dirty clothes and then it becomes laundry. Yes, and Becky, fresh corn, so good. So good. We have a little farm we like to go to, not too far from us. That's our thing. So anyhow, good stuff can happen. If you look for the good, you're going to find the good. Sweet baby Jesus, if you look for the bad, you're going to find the bad. So you don't even have to scrape the surface to find all the shit that's going on. So it's going to take some effort or extra effort to quiet down the bad and look for the good. Not to ignore and deny and put your head in the sand about the bad stuff, but to balance it out a bit with some good things so you don't get overwhelmed and freaked out and paralyzed. Now, this is me kind of talking about the outside world, but let's bring it into the inside world. Not only your inside world, which we should hit on in a moment, but inside your home. But let's start small, shall we? Let's get small. Wasn't that a Steve Martin book or something? Feeling the innest, the smallest, most inside place is going to be inside from your skin within. Okay? I highly recommend right now, sing along with Mitch. Okay? Play along at home with me. We're going to check ourselves from the crown on down. I should probably get a cute little crown. From your crown on down, take your hands It's going to make you want to breathe because you're going to expand your lungs, and then slowly take your hands and just do like a body scan, just of how your body is feeling from the top of your head, from down to the tips of your toes. Pretend this is like a little scanning machine, like at the airport or something. Feeling pretty good so far. My stomach feels a little bit bloated because I had some vitamins, but I don't have a headache. I don't have a shoulder ache. Nothing's really aching. I've had some water. I did some vitamins. Took a shower. Feeling pretty good physically. If you're not feeling good physically right now, what's the thing you could do to change that? Now, I have my go-to places and my go-to responses. If I'm hungry, I'll grab something to eat. I will always endeavor to have some water around me. And I will just offer to you that I've found it's easier. Maybe it's going to give me extra wrinkles around my ring around the rosy or ring around the collar. But I find it easier to drink from a big glass when I've got a straw. If you're not feeling well, do something about it. Do the thing you know how to do. And if what you're doing isn't working, take the next step. Go to get the help for how you're not feeling well. I say this as a person who struggled for years with migraines and didn't realize that I could get something prescription that changed how I felt. Okay? So take care of your physical body. Are you hungry right now? Grab a little something to eat. Drink some water. Go pee or poo. Take something for your headache. Take some supplements if you have supplements. I know many people think, oh, the magic bullet. Like, I take vitamins in the morning. I don't know if they're going to help, but they can't hurt. Can't hurt, might help. I'll take them. Okay, so physical first, but then energetic. How is your energy level? How is your gas tank? If you have one of those, like the gas tank gauges, how's your energy gas tank? Is it pinging all over is it pinning because you're like, whoa, I've got all this energy, but it's all distracted and I'm all like this and I'm overwhelmed and I don't know what to do. So is it like that? Okay, we can help with that. Is it on the other end where you're like, oh God, I have no energy at all. I can't even. Both of those extremes aren't so great place to hang out with. Black and white, not so much. We are on the spectrum here, and I mean this on every possible way, okay? And I say to you, not having enough energy, but also spinning out and spending energy when you could be focusing it a bit is not going to be so helpful. So I recommend kind of realigning, calibrating your energy so that you're feeling good both physically and energetically. And what I use, and I will share with you this morning, as I do every morning that I do a TikTok live and a YouTube live, is to think of the word down. Okay, so notice what I'm using too. I'm being very behind the scenes here. Crown, down, rhymes. The word down. Think of how many times we use it. We quiet down our environment. However you do that, can you quiet down your environment? Notice how I'm quieting down my voice. So I'm not yelling at you, right? I'm quieting down my voice. I'm slowing down how I speak. I am softening down my vocal muscles. My shoulders, I'm putting them down. I'm relaxing down my muscles. I'm breathing down. I should have started with the breathing, but we do it so unconsciously. Breathing down. Take a nice deep breath down to the bottom of your lungs, and then slow down your exhale. Sit down if you're standing. Feet down on the ground. Maybe you can't put your feet down on dirt, but maybe you can take your shoes off and put your I almost said your blank feet, your feet without socks or shoes, your bare feet down on the ground. And recalibrate, realign your energy that runs through your nervous system, your system of nerves in your body. So you're feeling better about it. You're not like, exhausted, dead on the side of the road with no gas, but you're also not spinning around and, ping-ponging around. When you've done this, the next steps might be to think about what you want to do today. But then what you think about, write it down. Write it down. This is the notebook I use. I have a bunch of them. I just bought some at Staples. They're like 50 cents, 45 cents. I think they charge tax here. Flip to the back of your book, your notebook, fold it in half, fold the paper in half and say, this is the notebook process. Okay. We're doing a notebook party for this on the 26th. Everybody's invited. Fold the paper in half to make 2 columns and just write today. Okay. And just, fold the paper in half to make 2 columns and just write today. Okay. And just write down, fold the paper in half to make 2 columns and just write today. Okay. And just write down things you kind of want to get today. And then not today. Why not? Get up everything. What are things I want to get done necessarily today? Empty your head of the thoughts it has in there. Do not use your brain or body as a filing cabinet. No. You have to use your brain for so many other things that using it as a storage place for many things is a waste of valuable real estate. Okay? So think about this, because there's other places you can store your to-do lists, your things to do, your whatever it is that's up there that's causing you to feel not so good. I always imagine like a giant sombrero with all sorts of thoughts on it and how heavy that can be with all the thoughts on it. So get your thoughts out of your head and here's another down onto paper. This is a great way to start the day. This is how I start my day. Some days, many days, I pregame it. I do. Like I've written down, well, this was yesterday, so it's kind of a mess, but there are some things that I know that I have scheduled, right? So I wrote down earlier when I knew they were scheduled. For example, a TikTok live. Check. I did a walk. I'm going to write that down. Check. I'm going to say saw friends, because then I can use this as a cheat sheet for when I'm writing this stuff down in my book. So I remember the good. I took a picture of some flowers. I've already done this stuff. I've already set myself up for good. I took a shower. It's not even 8:20 in the morning and I'm feeling pretty good. Okay? So that is a process I use to start my day. Here, you can use it if you want. It's free. I don't make any money off of it because making money isn't what it's all about. It's what some of it's about, but not all of it. So that is something that you can use every single freaking day of your life. I've been basically doing that for about the past 5 years now, and man, oh Manischewitz, does my life look, feel, function better than it did when I didn't do that. Now, do I do it religiously every single day and I'm perfect? No. There's days that I don't do that. Usually it's my days where I'm on vacation, but I still have a rough idea of the stuff I want to do. And when you do it on paper, sometimes it becomes organic to do it within your body. Okay? So I just wanted to start the day, and especially on a Friday, especially a Friday that is getting into the weekend, because at least where I live in the United States, we tend to be a Monday through Friday is one vibe, and then Saturday and Sunday is a different vibe. I know from experience, both personal and professional, that oftentimes people will say, I can't declutter during the week, so I'll do it. We're going to clean out the garage on Saturday. We're going to clean out the basement on Saturday. Whatever it is, it always seems to be Saturday is the day that you pushed off things and then let them pile up until Saturday. So perhaps this process I just shared with you is something that you can use to help your Saturday feel not as overwhelming. Now, the next thing I will do, I'll just go over this really quickly because I will go into more detail about all of these steps in the notebook party we're having at noontime Eastern on the 26th. But then I go to my notes in the back, right? And then I will make a page just for one day. This is why I use cheap notebooks, because I don't want to be like, oh, well, here, I can put 2 days on it. No, I want you to see how much time you have during the day. Because you may think I have no time to do it, but if you put in little chunks of time as to what you already have, you're going to see the chunks in between things. Now, sometimes you don't have time to do things. Like literally today, I got up early to do all these things because I've got an 8 to 9, a 9 to 10, a 10 to 11, and then at 11:15 I'm being picked up by some friends and we've got a day planned. Okay? But you can do this. You can use this process. And I will offer, if I went too fast right now, because I tend to speak wicked fast, this TikTok live, like all of my TikTok lives that I've been doing for the past 3 years, is going to be recorded. It's probably actively being recorded now. So mind what you say. And it's going to be uploaded to the Destination Decluttered YouTube page. So if you're like, wait, you went too fast, I didn't even, you can rewatch it. You can pause a recording. You can rewind a recording. And you can follow the steps along. Okay? You guys, I'm going to go check something out of the window. Okay? You hold on. I just heard something and I think I know what it is and I'm wicked psyched. Okay? Hold on. Right. Oh boy. So here's something fun. This is something fun. Talk about decluttering. The truck just pulled up. We got one of those bagsters where you fill it with a bunch of stuff because we had a bunch of stuff from the basement that was unsalvageable. It was like waterlogged IKEA shelving that had been there since a flood. We knocked it all down. The truck is picking it up right now. Yay. It's been there. Okay. Lizardo, too much time wasted with chronic pain. I tend to beat myself up for what's not done. Yeah, you know what? That is a habit many of us have. I don't want to say we all have because some people may not have it. Lucky them, huh? Here's something that can help you. Okay, Lizardo. I've been doing this myself. I did this myself this morning. I will share with you. Full, transparent human moment. I have lost multiple pounds in the past 6 months. I am so excited about this. And yes, I have gotten chemical help to do that. Why would I gatekeep? However, this morning, I weighed more than I did the last time I weighed myself. Now, it's incremental, but when I started out on my walk this morning, I was feeling kind of bummed about that. I forgot to look back in my rearview mirror and see the pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds that I had lost. And instead, I was focusing on these tiny little ounces on this random machine on the floor of my kitchen, my bathroom closet. So many of us do this. We disregard, that's it. No, I didn't do that. Look at all I haven't done. This is why it is so beneficial to adopt this process that I just offered to you. To write down the things you want to do and to do the things you want to do and to create what I'm trying to get better at calling your road trip journal. When you're on a trip, you're going to write down all the good stuff you did and probably some of the crappy stuff to learn from it. Remembering the good things you had. Here's a visual that I find really helpful, and I'm probably going to make a big old mess of this thing, but I'm going to show you. Okay, see this? This is my map of the United States. And notice right here, I just laminated it yesterday. It's got all these little like lines between 2 points, okay? Because you can take different routes. Here's something that I'm going to hope is going to work out. So hold on. Lizardo, this is for you and for everybody. When you tend to disregard what you've done and focus on accentuate the negative, as I like to say. Okay, where are we here? Oh, huh. Okay, well, I don't have the pens. We're just going to have to pretend, okay? How can I do this? I'm going to get crafty. Notice how I'm live on camera and what I reached for wasn't there. I don't know where my dry erase markers are. They should be here. I'm going to give it one more look. Oh, actually, you know what? That's great. They were just hidden a little bit, okay? I want you to think of your life or just the things you're doing. Your decluttering is a road trip, okay? Your decluttering is a road trip, and I like to think of it as a road trip, a cross-country road trip, because I'm from the East Coast and I love Palm Springs, California. It's also a metaphor here in the United States, kind of, go west. So when you're on a road trip, you want to go, let's say, from here to here. Here, I'll back up. And you basically want to take like a direct route. You could go all over the place, but it's going to take time and energy. What I want to offer to you is as soon as you start that, now I'm going to draw down some lines right here. Okay? And these lines represent kind of the halfway point, the 3/4. I cannot, this is what, 1/4, 25% there. Okay? As soon as you start your journey, you are no longer starting right there. Okay? Even if you're not there yet, let's say, Lizardo, I tend to beat myself up for what's not done. What's not done is the ahead stuff, right? But what you have done is you have driven from Baltimore to Kansas City. Do not forget to look in the rearview mirror and remember how far you have come from where you started. When I did that this morning, okay, so think of it as a road trip. Yeah, I'm not there yet, but I'm on my way, and this is what I like to say. I am closer to my destination decluttered, than I ever have been. Because instead of being over here, I am over here. So keep in mind, create in your brain a visualization of a map of the United States. And you may not be where it's all done, but man, you are on your way and you're closer than you've ever been. This is an active thing that you need to conjure up in your head, because the human brain tends to be wired to look for the negative, and that is encouraged often by other unhelpful people. Okay? So practice not doing that. As I said, I coach on this. This is my profession. I guess I'm a professional. Okay? And I still struggle with this in my own life. Excuse me, I'm not getting choked up. I just spoke weird. This is why I have 3 books worth of actively reminding myself of the good stuff I have done. It's to calm down my fearful nervous system that's afraid, oh my God, I'm not there, I'm not good enough, I haven't done it, I'm failing, things are wrong. That kind of speaking to myself activates my nervous system, and I do not do well when I am in that kind of energy. So as soon as I hear it coming on, I put out my traffic cop hand, tweet, and I say, no, stop. Cut the shit. Stop talking like that. Now, I have been doing this for years, so a lot of times I can calm down my backseat driver in my head. But when I was first doing this, I couldn't, because I was so used to listening to that fearful voice in my head that it was really loud, and I believed it a lot. I didn't realize I had another voice in my head, but we'll get to that in a minute. I say this to you because one of the things I want you to do, and especially when we're doing the notebook party, this is when your other notebook is going to come in handy. Kind of like your life coaching notebook, as it were, with that kind of stuff. And again, you open it up and you fold the paper in half. This is what I would do. If I was trying to calm down my nervous system after doing the downs, if my backseat driver, if the negative voice was like, no, you haven't done this, you haven't done that, I would write down what they said. I would. Instead of running away from the scary voice, I would turn around and be like, oh, really? What was that? Could you repeat that, please, so I can write it down? And then I would write it down. And then I would create a loving response to whatever they said. So, Lizardo, I haven't done all that, but look at all the stuff I have done. As they say here on TikTok, I brought the receipts. You want to know what I have done, though? Oh, let's see. I'd be happy to go back to August 1st of 2024 or maybe July of 2020 and just walk you through all the good stuff I've done. Okay? This is something that isn't organic to us. I learned this through a variety of sources, how I learn most things. I am here to share it with you now, to tell you the steps and that it works. Now, the funny thing is, I can offer this to you, and you can do it or you cannot do it. It's up to you. But what I will say, and I thought about this morning, and I felt like it was important to share it with y'all, because I coach somebody from Atlanta. Oh, excuse me, I say Atlanta, Alabama. It begins with an A, ends with an A, and it's in the South. Okay? But this is something that I realized this morning, is this process I just showed you, we're sitting down and writing down and creating the opposite and calming down your nervous system in that way and getting really specific about what the words are that your backseat driver uses, all of that. I used to spend some of my time doing that because I needed to, because I couldn't solve the problems in my head. Once you keep on doing this, you will have to do it less often on paper, and your backseat drivers will not be speaking up as often. When they speak up, and this is the fearful, negative, chastising voice, you are much easier to quickly quiet them down without a lot of drama. You just quiet them down, push it aside, that's fine. You know what? Shh, be quiet. Look at all I have done. Look at all the good. So as you practice this process gets easier and more organic and simpler and just more natural, and it becomes a new way of talking to yourself. Because how you talk to yourself makes you feel a certain way. Notice, Lizardo says, I beat myself up. Now, I doubt if you're using your physical fists. No, you're probably using the most powerful weapon in the world, which is your words. Your words in your head are what you're beating yourself up with, not your fists. You know, I'm literally beating myself up. No, but you know what you're doing? You're causing yourself pain with the words that you choose to talk to yourself with and believe and not actively quiet down. Okay? So I hope that helps, Lizardo. If there's anything I missed or anything you want me to elaborate on, let me know, because not a lot of people are commenting right now. So I'm here for you. I'm here for everybody. And I know that even if you're not actively commenting on the comments, you're learning some stuff. Okay, I'm here for everybody. And I know that even if you're not actively commenting on the comments, you're learning some stuff. Okay, it does make sense. So try with chronic pain or physical ailments that make the physical decluttering difficult will lament, I can't declutter because my body doesn't feel good. I'm not going to say, no, it doesn't, okay? What I'm going to say is the decluttering does not start with your hands. Much like you're not physically beating yourself up, the physical decluttering, anybody can move an object from point A to point B. All right, Leslie has picked a drink word. Every time I say a word and I repeat it, take a sip of water. But what I will say to you is, now I totally lost my train of thought, but hold on, I can get back on the tracks again. You're not physically, the physical aspect of decluttering is the last step in the process. Notice, we paid somebody to physically move that stuff. I'm just going to go see if they picked it up, okay? I'll be right back. Hey! Oh! Okay, it's still there, so maybe it's not that truck. Maybe it was another truck, okay? I'm going to choose to believe that all is well out there, and if no big deal, we'll figure it out. So I will not jump up anymore. I'm just so excited to see all that crap from the basement leave, okay? What I will remind you of is that decluttering starts in your head. The stuff in your head, you write it down. It starts in your head and it gets filtered through your heart. Your heart is the gatekeeper. Your heart is the one that says, yes, keep this, and no, give that away. And if your heart is hurting, if you're not feeling good, you're more likely to hang on to stuff. So Lizardo, if you are in chronic pain, you can sit in your house and you can write down this stuff. You can write down your list of things to do, and some things you have to do, but you can deciding starts up here. Once you have made a decision, somebody else can do the physical work. Okay? So I just wanted to help you with that. Alrighty. Good morning, Kara from Los Angeles. Your Airbnb looks awesome. Yeah. Jana says it's okay. We got a green screenshot of your wall as you stepped away. Interesting. Cool. All right. Janice is asking, if I need to clean my closet but don't know what to do with it all, should I still empty it out? No. Janice, let me help you. And actually, what's really going to help you, honestly, Janice, is yesterday. So we got to look at my calendar. Today is Friday, July 18th. So yesterday was Thursday, July 17th. And yesterday on TikTok, the TikTok Live, which is recorded and uploaded to the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel, and it's available to watch for free, and the YouTube Live, we spent a lot of time talking about decluttering closets. So it must be kind of that mindset, all right? And a couple of things I want to help you with because I want to set you up for success. I don't want you doing things that are just going to make you feel like crap, okay? So when you says, I don't know what to do with it all, that's fine. Nobody knows what to do with it all. So you don't start with it all. Think of it all being a giant mass and probably a giant mess. That can be overwhelming. Do not overwhelm yourselves by saying I got to figure it all out. In my goofy thing here about a roadmap, I don't know exactly how to get from here to here, but I figure it out as I go. So don't try to figure it all out. And do not, please, you guys, I know Marie Kondo said to empty it out. Do not do that. I don't think Marie Kondo is on the spectrum. I don't think Marie Kondo realized how overwhelming it can be to have an entire bed heaped with clothing. All you did was the physical aspect of moving it from point A to point B. Okay, so Janice, what I would recommend is to, instead of being overwhelmed, here's another downward. I highly recommend, if you want to get some sips of water in between now and 9 a.m., listen for me to say the word down, okay? So I would say chunk it down. What does that mean? Categories. Look at all of the stuff in your closet, notice it, but don't get activated by it, and then start to play matchy-matchy. What's a category of clothing that you could start with? Now, maybe you start with, here's a fun one. We were flipping it on its ear yesterday. Flipping it on your ear of starting with the things you love. Pull all those out. Put them aside. Then you're going to be left with the clothing that you're feeling about. Then you can chunk those down, okay? Or maybe you immediately know some stuff that totally easily peasily can go, okay? So maybe you start with that. There's no perfect right way to do it, but getting started and chunking it down and picking categories makes it easier to get started and makes it easier to make decisions. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. And this is great. I'm just backing up on some of the comments. It is funny how excited we get about getting rid of things. Yeah, because we've had this Bagster bag in our side yard for, what do you call it? A number of days now, and I don't want it to be burning a hole in the what little grass we have there. Now, Kara knows what she's talking about. Kara is says, did someone say chronic pain? Did someone say scream real loud? You know, don't let it define you. It's one thing about me, but not the thing. Do not let any one thing define you. I am a decluttering life coach. I'm also a daughter. I'm also a wife. I'm also a college graduate. I'm also a neighbor. Do not let it define you. It is part of your life, but don't let it overtake your life, okay? So there we go. Hey, Mel, good morning. Okay. Now, Becky says, speaking of clothing decluttering, really hit home yesterday when you said the longer you hold on to clothing, it becomes sentimental. Yeah, because if you're not wearing it, it has stopped becoming a covering from your naked body, but you're saving it because of the stories it tells you. Hey, very cool. Leslie says, I used your category suggestion, and in 3 lives, my closet was done. I did pants, skirts, jackets. I love it. All right, Disney Mom says, what do you do with a 3D picture of your ex-brother-in-law's baby? Okay, let me picture this because I have an ex-brother-in-law. Do I throw it away? I feel bad. Okay, well, I would throw it away. I would. I'd be like, hey, no offense. Do not take offense. This is not about you. It's about me and the relationship I had with you and that whole family. Thank you, but no. And I would put it in the trash. You could give it back if you have that kind of connection. You could do that, but that may, hey, guess what? I don't want a picture of you. That could be weird. But again, I'm just offering what I would do. Okay? So there's many things you could do, but notice Disney Mom. You do not want this in your home. Here's the thing. So you are talking about, and I'm going to back up for the new folks too, and just as a reminder for all of us, 3 layers of clutter. And notice where my fingers are going. They're not going up like this. They're like 1, 2, 3, from the top, from the shallow to the deep end, okay? You've got surface clutter. It's the stuff you can see on your surfaces. You've got stored clutter, which is stuff behind doors and drawers because it's stored and it rhymes. And then you've got sentimental clutter. Now, your sentimental clutter can be stored anywhere. It can be on a surface or hidden somewhere, whatever. Sentimental clutter is the deepest, most challenging category of clutter. But I just say challenging. It's not. It's more difficult than the other two, but it's not insurmountable. It's the stuff that tells you stories. 2 things I want to remind you about sentimental clutter. Clutter that you have that tells you stories. Actually, there's a bunch of them, but I'll just start with this one. One is you don't have to keep it. You don't have to keep it, okay? The other thing is, if you throw away a picture of somebody, it does not mean that you did not care about them or don't care about them to this day. You just don't need a 3D visual reminder of them. It is okay for you to throw it away. It may not have any reflection on how you feel about the person in the picture, or it could, with delight, tearing up pictures of an ex-husband and throwing it on the pyre. Or it could mean, man, I just don't need this picture, and it's okay. It doesn't make you a bad person. The other thing, too, with clutter that somebody else had and then they gave it to you, whether they died and you inherited it, or they gave it to you as a gift, just because somebody gave it to you doesn't mean you need to keep it. You could take a photo of it first, or you could just let it go. Because it's easy. I mean, the funny thing is, yes, you could take a picture of it and then throw it away, and then you may never look at that photo again. No big deal. How many photos do you have on your camera that you barely look at? I took multiple photos this morning. Will I look at them each one individually? Maybe not. But what I want to say is this is where the life coachy part's in. I'll be very clear. When there's tension in your nervous system, I don't know what to do. I don't want it, so part of me wants to just get rid of it. But another part of me is saying, no, don't, because of whatever. Okay? There's tension created in your nervous system. It's like, here, I can't find my little thing, but it's like, it's like playing tug of war. Here, I want to throw it away. No, I want to keep it. Here, I want to throw it away. No, I want to keep it. You got to calm down these two people, push me, pull you, co-pilot, backseat driver, and then say, what do I want? Do you want to have that picture in your house? No. Then calm down your nervous system so it feels safe enough to easily let it go. Maybe not comfortably, but you know what? It may feel awkward, but the end result that you don't want to have your house filled with stuff you don't want. Yes, in Kara's garden, right? Take a deep breath. Breathe down, down, down. Calm your nervous system. Breathe down. Take a deep breath. Toss the picture and the guilt along with it. Guilt is something we're always throwing in the trash can. Okay? So, does that help, Disney Mom? Again, this is the great thing about not having a lot of people in the comments section. You can follow up. Okay? Yeah, Cat Mama, I've done the same thing. I started returning pictures to family because I have too many. Have thrown out some of the ones I don't speak to. Yeah, you could do that. You are in charge of the stuff in your home. When somebody says you aren't the boss of me, if the stuff in your house says you're not the boss of me, you can say, oh, yes, I am, because I'm an adult. I've got the product. What is that? There's a song from the 80s, I remember. Maybe it was early 90s. You are an adult. You can do anything you want to do with your home. You can decorate it like Pee-wee's Playhouse. You can decorate it like the Monkey's Beach House. You can make it look like Laura Ashley or Martha Stewart or Eero Saarinen or, Paul Revere. You can do whatever you want. Just don't hurt people and don't hurt animals. Don't hurt living things and other things. Okay? But notice that some of these things, and especially of the sentimental layer, they create feelings. And sometimes that feeling is conflict and tension. Stopping and quieting down and resolving that tension makes it easier for you to take action towards what you want. You want a house that doesn't have that photo in it. When you throw away that photo, heck, if you live near me, I'd say put it in our bagster because I don't think they've picked it up yet. You will feel better. Now, not maybe immediately, but in the long term, you're not even going to remember you had it. I probably have hundreds of photos from my first marriage that I, at one point or another, and not all at once, but throughout the decades, have shoved off. I have also, with people that I do still like and have relationships with, I have pictures of us together, and I have pictures of them when they're young, and I have sent them to them with joy because I want their children to see what their dads and moms looked like in the 80s and 90s with our goofy haircuts. Oh, Gen X Girl 84, I recognize your name, and I am so sorry that you lost your husband in April. That's tough, My heart goes out to you, my dear. That is tough. I cannot even imagine. Well, I can't imagine, and the imagining is awful. Here's what I want to offer to you in going through any of your husband stuff. Do it when you feel ready. Don't delay it. Don't delay feeling okay about it. Do it when you feel ready. Start with the stuff that you feel ready to let go of. Now, here's the funny thing. I'm going to put myself in your shoes. Oh, you sent his shirts and had a quilt made. That's really cool. What a cool idea. I would start, if it was my husband, I'd start with throwing away his socks and underpants. Pants don't necessarily have a sentimental connection, but think of it, shirts. Where is a shirt? It is a shirt that probably has hugged you, a shirt that has touched your husband's heart, and you have hugged him in it. So the shirts tend to be the category of sentimental clothing. Anybody? Would you agree? A sentimental skirt, maybe, but a shirt is near your heart, is near your nervous system. It may have something printed on it. Yeah. So take your time. And Leslie's giving you a hug, So everybody's heart right here. We've got about 84 people. We are all sending you love in this difficult time. Yeah. Do it when you're ready, says Farm Girl. Okay? And what does ready mean? It means when your nervous system feels like you're not going to die or feel extreme pain if you take that action, if you give it away. One of the things that can help you, if you want to, if you don't know what to do with his things, is there's always going to be somebody in need that doesn't have any shirts. So find a place that feels good. I remember, you guys, Okie Teacher sometimes shows up here in the TikTok lives and the YouTube lives. I did my one-on-one coaching with her and her mom. It was, I like to coach couples, and it doesn't matter if you're whatever. It's like a mom and her daughter. And the mom lost her husband, which is also the dad. And the mom realized she would feel good about donating her husband's shirts to the veterans, because there were veterans that served the country and didn't have clothes. So find a way to make that crappy situation feel less crappy. Yeah, and feeling ready. German Maid is offering, my friend lost her hubby last week. She's already going through his stuff. Everyone is different. Give yourself grace. Cat Mama says, I still have stuff. Mom passed 2 years ago, and my twin passed 20 years ago. You don't need to do it all at once. And here's what I will say from the road trip kind of portion of the coaching. Move at a pace that works for you. It is not a race. You do not need to drive at the pace that anybody else says you should be done by that. Just do it. Just get rid of it. That's what they would do. Trust your nervous system and move forward at a pace that feels right to you. What does feeling right mean? It means it feels safe, that you're not going to burst into tears every moment. It means that you feel like you're not going to be causing yourself agony by doing it. That it's going to feel okay. It may not be pleasant or joyful. It may be bitter, sweet. But do it at a chunk at a time, little by little. Does that help? Yeah. Do it at a chunk at a time, little by little. Does that help? Yeah. If it doesn't, I show up all the time. Feel free to come back and check in. But know that you, and you know what? We're with you. Everybody here, we're all going to deal with the loss of a dear one at some point. We hope that there are helpers out there, but right now my heart goes out to you. Okay? Yeah. And here's an interesting thing. Farm Girl is offering, because this used to freak me out, this phrase, but now I get it. She's saying what helps me is to realize that nothing lasts forever. And that used to freak me out. No, I want it to always be this way. No, nothing is like that. I weeded the garden yesterday. There's probably more weeds growing up. There was a tree that was 300 years old that a neighbor just knocked down. Embrace the impermanence of everything and embrace your short time on the planet and reduce the amount of time you are causing yourself to feel pain. Move through it at a way that suits you and honest. Yeah. And trust that that's the best way to do it. Okay. Leslie is saying, I'm literally going through a Tupperware now of china from my mom who passed in 2023. Yeah. Nothing lasts forever except like plastic, and nuclear waste. And who wants to be plastic or nuclear waste? We all have a short time here on the planet, and none of us know when anybody else is leaving. None of us know when we are going to be leaving. That's why it is so freaking important to really think about that and say, wait, I think I have all the time in the world, but I don't. So let me get started living the life I want to live and making my house the house I want to live in. Or maybe if it's not the house I want to live in, I'm going to make it good so I can move. Okay? This is why it's not just decluttering coaching, it's decluttering life coaching, because your life is involved with your clutter, and your clutter reflects your life. And it's okay to feel feelings. Feelings to me, feelings, whoa, 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 feelings. Where's my 70s mic? Whoa, 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 feelings, again in my heart. Feelings are like a wave on the beach. Waves in the ocean. They rise up, they crash, they come back. They rise up, they may whomp you up temporarily and knock you down, but then they go and they recede, and you can take up, okay? There is a lot more that goes on in your nervous system, your head and your heart, when you are decluttering your home than other people maybe even realize. Just get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Oh, yeah, like if it was that easy, I would have, you moron. It's not that easy. But it doesn't have to be as hard as you think it's going to be. Your fear of how it's going to make you feel often stops you from even trying. Trying with one pair of socks, and another pair of socks, and another pair of stinky underpants. Throw those in the trash. And then you go to another category. This is why we start with every decluttering from the surface to the stored to the sentimental. Because you will teach yourself, you will expand your nervous system like the boy in the plastic bubble. You will be more comfortable. Your nervous system, your comfort, your comfort zone. You expand your comfort zone to be comfortable with getting rid of things you don't want anymore and not feeling horrible about it. Starting with the surface, going to the stored, and then you're getting your muscles built, so then you use that for your sentimental. And the sentimental is the stuff that helps, that we all struggle with, because we are all feeling human beings. I do not coach robots or AIs or haters. I coach people with feelings. That's why those of us who have feelings do struggle with stuff. I think that's okay. I want to hang around with people who feel feelings, whose heart is not hardened, is not stone cold. That's why I love hanging out with y'all, as Carla would say from Alabama. Okay? Don't harden your heart. Strengthen your heart. Make it a stronger muscle. Lead with it. That's what I'm doing. Right now, I know there's such chaos going on in our country. It is horrifying. But if I stop feeling about it, I will not be part of making it better. I will be part of making it worse. So I am not also just going to keep it tender and protected. I am going to practice things that strengthen it like a muscle. And I'm going to lead with my heart to help save people from East Norriton who are just going to go buy groceries and are here to pick the groceries and to do the jobs that people don't want to do. They weren't drug dealers and evil people. Yes, I want evil, truly evil people to get out of the country. Some of them are on TV every day. They're not the ones that are just trying to live and make a better life for their families. But I say, strengthen your heart. Do not harden it, and don't hide it away and protect it and not help. Okay? So this is why decluttering helps you remember that you can feel uncomfortable feelings and not let them shut you down or shut you off, but you can strengthen your muscle and say, I'm going to do one important thing. I am going to do something that I've been afraid to do. I'm going to go mark John Washington, or I'm going to send a couple of bucks to the ACLU. I am going to look out for my neighbors. I'm going to say no when I see something bad happening. I'm going to stand up for what I believe in. And all of these muscles that help you do that outside of your house are also the muscles you're using inside your house to declutter, to recognize what you want and what you don't want, to actively create more of what you want, and to actively get rid of what you don't want. And how you do that is saying, what do I want? What's the stuff I want in my house and what I don't? What kind of world do I live in? What kind of world do I not want to live in? And taking action. Taking action, I know, however, is often where people get stuck. They don't know what to do. They're paralyzed. So you calm down your nervous system and you write down one little thing you could do today to get yourself one step closer to Los Angeles. Okay? Even if you're here, if you were driving, if it was Kara in Massachusetts and she was driving to Los Angeles and she drove to Connecticut and she said hi to Cat Mama and she said hi to Leslie in Connecticut. When she's in Connecticut, she's closer to California than she ever has been. Is she there now? No. But she's closer than she ever has been. And you just show up and you show up and you show up and you show up, and then you begin to notice, hey, check me out. I'm in like the middle of the country. I'm the furthest away I've been from an ocean in my life. This is kind of wild. Okay? So I offer to you, every little step helps in the right direction, though. It doesn't need to be perfect, and it doesn't need to do every single day. Increasing your steps towards what you want will get you there. Stopping and staying there will not. Now, speaking of stopping, I'm going to stop in like a minute because I'm going to change the channel. You guys remember that, right, on TVs? And I feel like I'm totally changing like a dial on the color TV or the black and white TV. I'm going to do a live for the next hour from 9 a.m. Eastern to 10 a.m. Eastern on the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel. I do this because if TikTok goes away, I have an active channel that I can just pivot onto. But also I want to help you practice. And I also want to show up for another hour for people. Okay? People like you, for example. That is not the truck. See, it's so funny. German Maid heard the backing up. I think they're doing some stuff in the neighbor's yard, but you totally are going to see me on the tube in just a minute or so. Give me a moment, okay? Because I need to change the channel, and I also want to go look out and see if they've taken the Bagster. I'm like, have they taken it yet? Good news is my husband will be back from his run, and he can help that, okay? So, okay, I'll see you guys over there. But before we leave, wicked quick, Destination Decluttered, decluttering email group. Sign up for it. It's free. DestinationDecluttered.com. I'll see you. Okay. Have a great week. Well, I won't see you guys until Monday. All right. And Monday we have a declutter party. I forgot to do all those goofy things. Okay. All right. This was awesome. I'll see you. Bye.